I tell you, the summer heat out here is crazy. Oh, we're already shooting. Okay. What's going on, everybody? This is Learning to Duel with Duel Academy U.S.A. Today, we'll be going over the third of the 5 available structure decks for those students who already have a deck coming to their school. Let me re-say that. I said that a little weirdly. This is part 3 of our 5-part episode 1, introducing the new students to structure decks that we offer here at Duel Academy USA. 5 decks built to be easy and simple for a newbie to use, while also, well, following power creep rules. That being said, today we're going over a deck that is made to be extremely simple. So simple, in fact, a delinquent like a bancho could use these. Yes, that's right. We're crossing some country barriers by sharing a little love for... Well, actually, no. The name itself is just the reference to Japan. But, hey, if you don't know what a bancho is, it's basically a hooligan. Someone with a strong spirit and desire to be a leader. And someone that likes to attack any situation with their full power. So without further ado, let's talk about this deck. Every card in this deck has been picked because it is just generally decent and isn't going to be too complex for most players. So let's pop into it. First off, as we do with every episode, we start with the extra deck. This one's going to be a little quicker now because the extra deck is a little smaller. So, we have Mud Dragon of the Swamp, Alvania, the Essence of Vanity, as your 2 fusion targets. They're just easy to get fusion cards, honestly. Penguin the Brave as a beat stick to Synchro 2. Stardust Warrior to Synchro 2 for points. High Speed Red Kinbara. And lastly, Golden Cloud Piece Belong. All synchros you can use in this deck. Realize that there are no exceeds because this deck does not need the exceeds. Only needs synchros and fusions. Now we're going to go over the deck. Any cards that we have covered previously, we'll just give an overview of them. Anything brand new, we might go over the effect. We might not. Depends on how much they're going to pay me for this episode. So without further ado, let's do this. First off in this delinquent deck, the hooligan deck, the bancho of the decks available, we have 2 primitive butterfly. Good little floodgates and nothing else with decent statistics, I guess. 2 bite shoes, which allows you to protect yourself a little bit, changing the positions of monsters when this thing's attacked and flipped and all that stuff, okay? Next up, we have Blazing Apache, which is a noble monster with good stat lines. Trust me on that. Dark Zebra. This is great for launching an attack and then mounting a defense. It's a little like Goblin Attack Force. Then we have Karate Man, which has almost infinite potential, like most students who use this deck who just don't put their full effort into it. The whole reason this does not have a specific archetype associated with it is because, well, most students who are struggling like that don't really associate with a certain group. So it would make sense that a deck like this, with a name like that, would be its own thing. Next up we have Night Sword Serpent. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon it. When it leaves the field, you can only use this effect, but banish it when it leaves the field, basically is what it said. Good little floodgate. Then we have DD Trainer, a good defensive normal monster. Then we have Dark Eye Nightmare, which has an interesting effect. This is one we can't just gloss over here, because if you don't do it, it's just not going to come out right. So here we go. Dark Eyed Nightmare. Once per turn, if this card be destroyed by battle, you can banish 1 trap from your graveyard instead. You banish up to 3 traps from your graveyard. Apply the effect based on the number banished. If you do 1, you draw 1 card, then place 1 card from your hand at the top of the deck. 2, draw 1 card. 3, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. You can only use this effective Dark-Eyed Nightmare once per turn, and it's got a good stat line too for level 4. Next up is Kaijikosi. Just a normal, that's got good stats. Then we had to give a little something cute to the little guy, so we gave him a baby dragon. A classic normal monster. Good stat line and everything. Next up we have Unknown Synchron for flooding the field. The White Dragon Wyvern Burst. One that's got a pretty complex effect, but we'll leave that for the students to decide if they want to use it. It's pretty cool. Can it be normal summon set? Can it be normal summoner set? Must be special summon banishing one dark monster from your graveyard. Can only special summon white dragon or wyvern once per turn. Once per turn. Hold on. Let me special summon this white dragon wyvern once per. Hold on. You can only special summon this god from your hand by banishing one dark monster in your graveyard. You can only special summon a white dragon wyvern burst once per turn this way. If this god is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one black dragon and call for sent from your deck to hand. It's not exactly an effect you can use right now, but in the future, if you get your hands on that god, you could have some fun with it. That might have just exposed that there's no duality in this deck. Quite crazy, isn't it? Next up, we have Labyrinth Wall, an extremely good defensive god. Then we have High Tide Gyojin, Magician of Faith. If you don't know her, well, you just haven't been around long enough to be a good friend of a guy named Yugimoto. That being said, we got Blast Juggler, which is a good defensive monster, good setting up and everything. Guard Dragon Justica for your synchroing. Gilosaurus, again, a good special summoner. Mental Tuner acts as a tutor. It has some fun effects. We got Jinzo number 7, Soul Scissors, Armored Lizard, and Jellyfish. This deck, as I said, does not have a specific archetype to it. It is a true mashup, almost like a bunch of friends coming together. Now for the spells. No, wait, first up's the traps. I can't see out of these things. They've gotten so sweaty. See, you would think, filming this at night, it'd be a little bit cooler, right? Because holy crud, recording on this fucking island in the Pacific Ocean in the middle of summer with a blacktop table that attracts the sunlight and makes it hotter. It gets hotter and hotter to do this. Let's just do this, okay? All right. So, your first trap is going to be Shadow of Eyes. Then you got Fukubaki. Then you have Trap Tricks. Then we have Gift of the Mystical Elf, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Appropriate Infinitesimal, Fusion Duplication, Terrors of the Underroot, Mystic Probe is the last one. A good little selection of traps, a little bit of some card removal, a little bit of defensive stuff, a little bit of preventing, and a little bit of nothing. Then the list of spell cards you're going to use is Shed Pain, the Immortal Bushi Mourns the Mortal Body, Chaos End, Z1 or Zone, Eternal Rest and Rain of Mercy, a good little bit of recovery along with some destruction, and honestly, this deck, it is made perfect for those who feel like they don't fit in. It's your own thing to make it. Offers you a bunch of different options to dive into, and I like to think this deck right here is great for those of you looking to challenge yourselves. That being said, this has been part 2 of episode 1, or part 3 of episode 1 of the Duel Academy U.S.A. lecture videos. This video series is to help you youngsters learn the in and outs of Yu-Gi-Oh! And what your decks are about to be coming into this world. Hopefully you're ready for Duel Academy, my kiddos, because let me tell you, these card games on motorcycles are gonna be cool. Are there gonna be motorcycles? I'm not telling the truth. I don't know. But you know what I do know. I'm Proctor Wallace, and this has been another lecture done just for Duel Academy USA. And I just gotta say, if you ain't joining today, where's your head at anyway?